Yes, it's John G. Sutton. Tales from the Jails. Today I'm going to talk about the sad passing of a friend of mine who was the crime reporter for the national newspaper The Guardian. I'm talking about Eric Allison. See, Eric, this is a picture of Eric Allison here. It's not very good, is it? I can't really see it, can we? Well, there we are. That's Eric Allison. You got that? He wrote a book following the Strangeways riots because Eric had been a prisoner at Strangeways, and he spent a lot of his time down the punishment block. Not because he was violent, because he wasn't. He was an intellectual, and he was kind of winding the screws up a little bit on the governor, and he got himself banged up down the block, where he complained vociferously about the conditions there. And of course he would have been receiving the treatment from Bootsy, the black dog, the Chinese money box, Piggy, and all the rest of them. And I knew Eric Allison when he came out of prison, because he approached me to do a chapter in his book, which was about the Strangeways riot, and it's called A Serious Disturbance. This is the book. Can you see that? A Serious Disturbance by Nicky Jameson and Eric Allison. And that is available on Amazon, and it's got a chapter in there by me. It's called A Prison Officer's Tale, and that book's available on Amazon, and Eric came to me and I wrote a chapter there, I think 1996, 95, 96, about the riots in Strangeways, and of course the virtual revenge that society took on the inmates that took part in that. Alan Lord served, I don't know, something like 15, 20 years extra imprisonment for taking part in the riot. He's out now making a living for himself as a training instructor, I believe, in Manchester, and good luck to the guy. Yeah, but the problem is, of course, with the system is that it's absolutely broken. It's been broken for the last 50 years. I mean, the system was designed, jails like Wormwood Scrubs and Strangeways were built in the Victorian era, and with cells designed for one man. Of course, it was a different system then. They were using hard labour, and by hard labour they used to have a crank that very much looked like a mangle, and they turned the crank. It was called a crank, and it was controlled by, on the top it had a device like a screw, and the key to the screw at the top of the thing was held by the jailers. Hence, jailers are called screws, yeah. And if they were a particularly aggressive jailer, they would make the mangle, the crank, when you turned it, extremely difficult to turn, and the inmates used to have to do something like 1,000 rotations a day, or more than that. You can see an example of the crank, in Bodmin Jail. It's a museum now, and I highly recommend that you go and have a look at it. Some people may have seen Bodmin Jail in one episode of Most Haunted, when that extremely fake psychic, who was a fake psychic, he wasn't a fake psychic when I first knew him, but he changed because he became involved in show business, became a diva, play acting for the cameras, and he pretended to be possessed by somebody who he thought, he didn't think, he was fed the information, and he pretended to be possessed by the non-existent spirit of a man called Creed Kafer. And all those who've seen it with Derek Okora in the cells at Bodmin Jail on that particular episode of Most Haunted, you'll see him go, Creed Kafer. Seriously. It's an anagram of Derek Faker. But of course, Derek Akora wouldn't know that because he was semi-literate. I know he was semi-literate because I wrote his book. Don't believe me, folks? Go have a look. The Psychic World of Derek Akora. You'll see my name there. Anyway, forget that book. Think about Eric Allison and go and get his book. Read his book. You get it from the library. A Serious Disturbance, Nicky Jameson and Eric Allison. And he spent a long time as the crime reporter, prison reporter for the Guardian newspaper. And he's recently passed a spirit. So you're up there, Derek. I was speaking to Derek about doing an interview with Sean Atwood, and he was going to do it, but he would do it from the other side now. But he did a great deal to help prisoners to survive what was a very broken, damaged, ridiculous nonsense system. Listen, if this system is locking people up for walking their dogs in parks or on the beaches, then the system is broken. It isn't there to protect society. It's there to control society. Now that is an insult to humanity, and we have to stand up against it. The problem that you've got is that it's not being run by people who are using their common sense. It's being run by people who have got a vested interest in you, that's you, doing what you're damn well told. And if you don't do what you're told, then the place is waiting for you. Strange Ways, Armley Jail, Wandsworth, Wormwood Scrubs, Pentonville. Yeah, these are the stuff of nightmares. And who do you think's policing this lot? Numpties, half the time. I mean, you've got to be damn stupid to take a tureen of soup, whip your todger out and urinate in it. You've got to be stupid. You've got to be mentally ill. But there they are, carrying the keys with a big hat. And waving the truncheons around, yeah? Look, I've got one here. There it is. A truncheon, yeah? That's like they use in prisons on your head. Boosh. Tell you what, you'll feel it if you get that bastard on your head. Eric Allison. Many years ago, Eric was taken to court for something he told me he didn't do, and he asked me to be his character witness. So I went to Crown Court and gave evidence for him to the effect that I knew him as a writer, which I did, and as a journalist, which I did, and as a very fine, educated, intellectual gentleman, which he was. So I did my bit to help Eric Allison, and he did his bit to help a lot of people who were injured by the system. And the system, the prison system, is broken. It's absolutely nonsense. Rest in peace, Eric Allison. Look him up. I'm putting a link below, to one of the talks he gave on why prison doesn't work. And it doesn't work. Listen, go back. Don't take my word for this. Please go back and have a look at the Mountbatten report of 1968, when Mountbatten, prior to the dispersal system, that's the Category A dispersal system, recommended that they build what's known as a supermax prison that he called Vectus. Yeah, now that makes sense. But there's no need for all these Victorian damn jails, with Dickensian throwback jailers who think they can give over. What a waste of time that is. Listen, it's an insult to humanity, and it's about time somebody did something about it. Yeah. Anyway, to commemorate Eric Allison's fight against the ridiculous state of the prisons, I've decided that the Song Dinger will celebrate a poem by a man called Spike Milligan, who knew what it was like to be in a ridiculous world. This is Spike Milligan's poem on the Ning Nang Nong. It's not about prisons, but it damn well should be. On the ding nang nong, where the cows go bong, and the monkeys all say boo, there's a nong nang ning, where the trees go ping, and the teapots jibber jabber joo. On the nong ning nang, all the mice go clang, and you just can't catch 'em when they do. So it's ning nang nong, cows go bong, nong nang ning, trees go ping, nong ning nang, the mice go clang. What a noisy place to belong in the ning nang nong. Yeah, like Strange Ways. Tales from the Jails. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to get my book. It's on Amazon. HMP Manchester Prison Officer. And say a little prayer for my old mate Eric Allison. Rest in peace, Eric.